Welcome to City of Heroes. Used to play, when it was live, for real, in, I think it was 2004, and then the game shut down in 2012. Been kept alive by some brilliant people. So I've recreated my stone tanker. It used to be energy melee, but instead we've gone with Titan weapons because it's brilliant. So we'll jump in and we'll get started. So here we are, we're in the Outbreak, which is the tutorial area. I need to switch these around to the way I like it. Just popping these over here. Put my target HUD up there. Where's the inspiration? The inspiration window was hiding over there, so we want that there. Enhancement window, pop that up there for when we want it. We just need to do one more little thing, which is changing that to that, because when we do this, look at our character, boom, press the C key, straight back. And we need to drag our powers back in, so I always put my attacks on the bottom row because it makes sense, and then put, well, the armors and other clickables in the second row. So for example, like the sprints and all that other stuff. We'll go into other stuff as we go through. Yeah, so talk to Officer Flint, ask about the available mission, click let's set the task. Now, one of the things we can do in Outbreak, which is kind of unique, otherwise we'll have to do it later on, is kill 100 contaminated for a badge, and you know, might as well just get it done whilst we're here. So we need to read the terminal. In this version there are things that have changed since the original game. I mean, they've added, you know, various updates that were supposed to happen. They've also rescinded certain updates that weren't very popular, such as the Origin Enhancement nerf, which basically meant it had depreciating values after putting in 3 of them. That's gone. So you could put in, like, each enhancement, if you've got a single origin, right? Because you've got magic, science, technology, natural, and mutation, right? And you have single origins which buff by 33%, dual origins which are by 16%. In the nerf, well, you could only go up to about 100%, otherwise the 4th one would only give you maybe like 10% or something extra instead of the full 33%. That's put back in now, so you can have 128% plus or whatever. So that's good. Another thing is they drop everywhere from level 1. It's ridiculous. That never used to be a thing. So now you can just grab them, put them in. You'd have to go buy them at like single origins you used to be able to, no, dual origins you used to be able to get from like level 20 or 25. It might have been 15. My memory, it was 10 years ago this game shut down, so I can't remember every little detail. Oh, we've got to talk to Officer Parks again. Yeah, and then like level 40 I think it was for single origins, so you don't have to wait to level up. Likewise with all the costume components, including stuff that was from the invention system, which I never got the grips of. That's all ready to go from the get-go. So you can put on capes, you can put on auras, you've all the customization options, so you can just go mental with your builds, with your character styles. Unfortunately, Envoy's original costume, which you can see in the offline image and the online image in the banner or whatever, is he had the big pants on, but you could split them into 2 different patterns, and then they removed that. So you had to keep that forever. I couldn't change it or alter it at all at the tailors. It was ridiculous. So that was unique. So I can never get that back again, which is why I've recreated him close, but not exactly the same. Yes, the reason why Titan weapons is absolutely amazing is because the first power, it's a melee, which is, you know, it's obvious time weapons, does a cone in front of you, which smacks multiple enemies as long as they're in front of you. There's a bit of minor damage, but it adds a defense buff to both melee and smashing damage. It's brilliant. So for a tank, it is phenomenal. Because I've been playing another character before deciding, you know what, I want to stream. Because I've been working on it for a while. So yeah, I've been playing with Titan weapons, dark. I've made loads of tunes, as you can probably see down below, if you care to. I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, I just like creating. I will eventually get them to 50. One of the other things is I've got a self-imposed rule, which is if I die whilst playing a particular character, I have to switch character, because it's like they're, you know, in hospital, you know, for a bit longer than, oh, you're instantly healed. It just, you know, it just makes it a bit more variety rather than playing the same character for hours and hours on end. Just a, you know, little bit of variety. Yeah, so that's that. Another thing that was added, I'll show you once we've beaten up these form contaminated and got to Coyote, who's over there waiting. I really should put Brawl on there. Each origin has a prestige attack, but I don't like those. They're annoying. And the sounds they make are just they just don't fit in with the characters you make. And yes, that happens with these little drones. If they go too far, these police drones will just zap them out of existence, which is quite frustrating when you're trying to kill them yourself. In fact, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm not going to stay here and like bore you with me twatting 100 of these. I'm just not. I missed. Apparently, I missed with this gigantic weapon that's swinging right through your body, and it just goes. Right, another one. Ugh. Come on. Yes, your puny weapon is not going to do much. Get these two on top of here. I mean, we will make another costume when we get out things so you can see how that's done. I just thought it'd be quicker just to jump straight in, even if nobody's watching right now. I don't know if you are. You might be, you might not be. Who knows? I can't see the chat window at all because unfortunately to get this bloody thing streaming at a decent FPS means I can't look at the chat or watch my own stream at the same time until I get a dual PC set up. It's ridiculous. And of course that costs money, which I don't have. Alright, so enhancements. So we'll go now. Any enhancements you pick up will turn up in this. You only used to have like maybe 2 rows. Now you've got 7 of them, so you can carry 70 of them. It's ridiculous. It will tell you what it does. It's usually indicated by the picture and the colour. Whether it's all origins, dual origins, or single, but this one in particular does boost the strength of one of my powers by 33%. So for now, stick it in there. Boom. You hover over it. It will tell you the allowed enhancements, the set categories, because there are sets now as well, which obviously give boosts like any other MMO or RPG or whatever. Yeah. Another thing that changed, as any veterans might notice, is this used to be in the tertiary power pools, which we'll go into in a little while when we get to that level, is the fitness powers. They used to be their own thing. You have to take each one individually to increase your speed and your jumping and your health and the stamina. It was pretty much standard to get both of these for any character, which is why I think they've done this, because it just removes that mandatoriness and you can just stick the slots in as you level up, which I think is a really good change. Oh, that's the other thing that's a problem, is you can I'm moving with the keyboard and then I'm moving with the mouse. If you move with the mouse for too long, you'll auto run and that can get quite frustrating. Yeah, right, so we'll talk to Sergeant Hicks again, be introduced to a new contact. Yes, we'll get into contacts as well. Once we get into Atlas Park, which is the main starting area, which used to be busy as hell back in the day. Obviously, being this is essentially like private servers, because it is a private server. There isn't that many people on at one time. Right, so... Oh, and you may have noticed, his name is spelled with 0. This is because, when I first got on here, this was probably about a year ago, when I first got on here to mess around, some bastard had nicked the name Envoy, and if you ever watch this, I want the name back. It's my name, give it. Right, so anyway, click here to set the mission, leave. One thing which is beautiful, if there's an absolute pain in the arse mission you don't want to do, which includes this one, is you can just complete the mission, and boom! It's meant to get around bugged missions, but I think for that mission in particular, where you just want to go straight to level 2 as quickly as you can and go straight to Atlas Park if you can't be bothered to get the badge, it's brilliant. And also back in the day, I used to play this on dial-up, so that loading used to take forever. This is another new little feature, is we can, you can say whether you're new or you're a veteran. So in this one, I'm going to pop on Helper, because I am a veteran of the game, even with the stuff that hasn't or has changed and I don't know what the hell's going on. So our first contact is Jonathan St. John Smythe, and we'll go in there in a moment, but right now, go to Miss Elite, and every time you level up, you get to train to a new level of power, and she'll tell you what you get. So you gain fitness and rest. Fitness will make you run fast, jump high and recover quickly. Rest will also allow you to quickly heal your wounds, but you'll be left vulnerable while doing so. Resting is an absolute pain in the arse thing, but it's something you need to do every so often to gain back your mana, which is called endurance in this game, and your health if you're really low in between fights. It is useful, it's not always needed. To start off with, always go for two things as a tank. Yes, Envoy is a tank, because your primary set is armor, and then you have the damage one, which is like the flip round of scrappers. But they have an end armor primary, which is superior to the scrapper ones, and obviously I think they absorb more damage and whatnot in a tank, whilst obviously the scrapper melee abilities do way more damage than the tank ones. So yeah, there's that. The other thing, before we make a new little costume, is this special lady. Is one of the things that obviously is not, you can't do anymore because they're not live, is every month of being subscribed to the game, you pay your $8.99, is it would enhance your veteran status and you would get prestige stuff. So for example, my absolute favourite, which I get on every single one, which is the Nemesis staff. This thing is amazing. So we just pop it out. It's a great pop-out weapon. Right, this belongs to a clockwork boss called the Nemesis, and he has it, and we won't see him until we're at least level 30 plus, I don't think. It might be even harder than that one. But this thing is a ranged attack, so as a tank, it's great for pulling. If they're running away, it knocks them down as well. However, the downside is you can't slot it with enhancements or anything like that. So it is powerful, but it's fairly balanced. The other thing, which didn't exist anyway, is these lovely things, which are prestige enhancements. These work like, how would you put it? What are they called? Okay, that is a really annoying noise. The leveling up armor you can get in World of Warcraft. Basically, it will level up with you, the stats will grow, and they just stay with you forever. These work slightly differently. You can only slot one of them, so I put them all in defensive sweep because it boosts the damage, and it also boosts the recharge. And they have a special effect on them, but that goes away at level 21, which I haven't got on any character yet. So yeah, but the buff bit stays like until level 50, so you might as well whack them into your main attack power and off you go. So when we level these up, we'll pop them in there as we go. So yeah, that's that really. Oh, there's one other thing we forgot to get, which was, where are we? Prestige powers. We want travel. Oh, it's going a bit funny, my mouse. It might be running out of batteries, which is not good, because I have a nice wireless mouse, which I'm holding that really awkward. Iron Man. Mrs. bought it for me. I thought that's cool. Alright, so athletic run. This again is overpowered. You couldn't get these before either, I don't think, unless they became in the Veteran Wars. Is we can now jump a lot higher and move a lot faster. You've also got a ninja run, which is pretty cool. So if you've got a ninja type character, they sort of do that. They're like dabbing but running. It's bizarre. Right, so let's go and create a new costume. Now, before you'd have to have free tailor tokens or a lot of influence, but when you're really low level, it's free, so you can customize your appearance. Now, we used to have only 4 slots, and now we have 10. I believe these are earnable, like how you used to get your cape and your aura and your title and all of that stuff. But I haven't done it yet, and we'll figure it out. So, here we are. You can alter the scales. Another good thing is if you go to the tailor in Steel Canyon, which is where you used to be able to do it. I don't think you could ever do it at the main trailers before. You can also change the gender to the female body type and the large male body type, which I think is brilliant, not only because of the whole transgender movement and all of that stuff. You know, it's great for doing something like if you want to Hulk out. So like if you want to have like a little male character and then make a big green guy like super strength and vulnerability, and you just go costume, boom, there you go, hulking out. It makes for a great bit of roleplay. I think it's brilliant. So anyway, you can just go straight through like the various sets. So armored, average, biker. So it gives you a little starting point, and I think they're absolutely abysmal to look at. I know they're supposed to show off the sets that go together, but I hate them. I absolutely hate them. But it does give you an idea of what you can do. That was just simply villain. So yeah. I mean, there used to be so few options in the game, and now there's so many. Look at them all. I can't remember where the customer was. Right, we'll just go back out and go back in again. I think that's probably easier than trying to do that. Right, so we have standard, which allows you to have hair. Got full masks, which basically you can put on various details on the tops, as though kind of like the Flash. Then you have hats, which it says hats, but you can't do a custom hair with it, which is a shame. Hoods, helmets, which are just open-faced helmets. Half helmets, which are like military helmets and things like that. Full helmets, which are like Iron Man helmets and whatnot. You have medieval helmets. Think tank is unique. Just brain with eyes on empty. That's kind of it. Floating head. You can have no head. I think it's awesome. You can have absolutely no head. You can have a globe, skull. Change the base. It's pretty cool. Monstrous. Speaks for itself. We've got Piranha, which is another monstrous head. I don't know why they didn't just put it in the monstrous section instead of giving its own one. You've got animal, big cats, large. So you could make King from Tekken if you really wanted to. Wolves, birds, Minotaur. Special helmets, which are the Arachnos helmets. So if you wanted to make an Arachnos character, you can. You could have a jack-o'-lantern as a helmet if you really wanted, but we're going to stick with the standard for now, I think. Yeah. Oh, my mouse batteries are definitely about to die. Let's sort that out. Fortunately, we come prepared. This is the downside to having a wireless mouse. I need to get a wired one for backup. Should be able to run out of batteries. There we go. And there we go. He's now lit up. So that means batteries are working. There we go. Right. So, what shall we do? What I like to do is if they've got weapons, because you can also colour your powering up abilities now as well, because that never used to be a thing either. Is base it around what they're using, what colours they are, and go from there, because then it makes a lot more sense. Now I've tried to make like a sort of railway person, engineer, ticket guy to go with this outfit, and it just doesn't work, and I will show you why. Because you've got the tops, which is shirts, baggy robes, sleeveless robes, jackets, sleeveless jackets, armoured, and all of the above or below. The jackets look a bit. Well, I did try to make it on my female toon, but this actually it doesn't look too bad on him. So maybe we'll try and make it work. So what one works? What one works? I mean, the bow tie doesn't really work for it, does it? But then I suppose it's got the dress shirt, isn't it? So maybe that one. Oh, that looks quite good. Might use that for something else. Sleeves, chest. So dress shirt. Oh, so the bow tie stays with it. Oh, I should see. This is why you've got to be so. Hang on. It's because it's under the chest detail. That's why. Fool! Right. Chest. Well, we can't see it under that because I've changed it, haven't I? Because I'm an idiot. Back to the barrel. Right. So, I think a nice navy blue works. With a red tie. Yeah, that works. Do we want to have it like super basic or make it at least a little bit more interesting? Yeah, so yeah, nice navy blue, dark navy blue. There we go. Is that the same? Have I made it the same one? Yes, I have. Okay. I mean, it looks nice, but yeah, we'll leave that. Right. Chest detail. Well, so we've got chest ties, skinny ties. You can have extra ties if you really wanted to. Vampire frilled ascot. No, we'll leave it as that. Gloves. I think we'll go with bear. Bare hands. So we'll change the skin colour to make him normal human. So we need to change the hair. Well, really, we need to put him in a hat because we need. So we've got to make him a conductor helmet, sort of like that. Although I think the glasses work pretty well actually. So hat colour black. Make the hair blue because that's his theme, isn't it? Detail 1. So is there anything more appropriate than a pair of glasses? Yeah. Give him the round glasses. Because why not? Classic steampunk beard. I hate that. Let's just give him the clean beard. It's blue, nice and blue. There we go. Obviously the boots look a tad ridiculous. So we want pants. Yeah, baggy jeans. No. I don't think any of that looks Japanese. Yeah, I think just basic stuff. Give us some cargo pants. Make them black because you know you have to dress nicely. No, we want right. So resistance. There's something that's like smart shoes. There isn't like dress shoes. That's a bit. Okay, so alright, work shoes. Nice brown work shoe. Right, as for the back detail, you might have to just get rid. So I don't think there's anything appropriate really that will go with it. No, I don't think so. So I mean, even a cape wouldn't work. So Rocky Crumble, we'll get rid of the aura as well because I don't really need one. Then we go to the weapons. That's got to be red. What actually colour does that actually change? Oh, it changes the electricity there, I think. Yeah, it does. So we'll just pop that back to blue. So there we go. He now looks like a railroad dude. We'll keep the rest of it as it is. And boom, there we have new costume. And if we go through here, you can even change the animations. So do a spin. It's so cool, but you have to wait 10 seconds to change your costume again. Yeah, there's that little system there. So now let's move on and we'll actually start playing the damn game. Now inside this city hall you have every origin has a unique contact in here, so we'll start a particular storyline. That one, the elite, I think is for technology. That's for magic origin. No, that's for technology. That one, I think that one might be science. No, that one's science, which means that one's mutation. Or is that mutation? One's natural. That might be natural. I can't remember. We'll do it eventually. Right, so we go to the contact, put a stop to the stuff in the office, and off we go. So it's rest all gang members. Now, if you're playing with people, which may happen at some point in the future, it's unlikely. I did have an offer the other day, but I just could not commit the time. As you can select, and you just select the task, and it will turn red. And we get a little heads up over there. So we just make our way over to our mission. I mean, we can stop along the way and beat up people. As long as they're coloured, they'll give you XP. If they're grey, they won't give you any XP at all. Green, they're like lower level than you by 2. Blue, it's 1 level lower. White, same level. Yellow is 1 level higher, but or they're a lieutenant. Then orange, again, plus levels and higher rank, and then it goes to purple. And obviously, the higher the colour, the harder it is to hit them, and the more damage they'll take, the more damage they'll do to you, etc. And I believe if it shows a skull in their level, they are much, much higher than you, and stay the fuck away. Right, so we are. We've got some skulls. Fortunately, my inherent armour prevents smashing and lethal damage, which is mostly what they do until we get to some lieutenants and bosses who will do dark damage, which is skulls. Because that's what they're all about. They're all about death. Little gangs. So obviously, you do have unique missions and unique maps and things like that as we go along as well. I think the most famous ones is the Frostfire one, which we will get to. We will get to. Just need to check something actually. I want to make sure I'm actually recording this. Yes, I am. Okay, just wanted to quickly check that because I wasn't sure. Just thought, oh, I've done all this time and I've not been recording it at the same time. Right, there we are. So you can just you can either go and walk out the exit just by clicking on the door again, or you can just hit the exit button. Either or. Either or. And you can see we're getting our XP. Beyond level 10, if we die, we get what's known as XP debt, which we have to basically, it takes half of our earned XP to pay off this debt. Which can become annoying, but there are badges involved. Yeah. There's the monorail. That allows us to go to different areas. There are roadways. There's multiple ways to get to multiple areas. So we've got to go back into here to talk to Akiros Nandelu. Right, so what do we have to say here? So, oh, somebody answer the phone. Is somebody going to answer that? No? Alright then. So we want to have a look at the sample. So, okay, so we've got to go talk to Jose. A lot of it is running around, going talking to people. NPC or... Oh, hello. Christmas Carol, a level 50 Sentinel. Oh, alright. Bye! Okay, amazing. We actually saw somebody else. And they're gone. I think they had the super speed power. So when we get to go, I think level 4, we'll grab a travel power, which will make getting around a bit easier. Might go with super speed, that could be fun. I'll pick flying and super jump on others. I think we go with super speed. I mean, original Envoy had super speed and jump because it was just literally the fastest way to get around. You also got teleport as an option, but it's just it was just a nightmare to use. The only useful thing was you could teleport your teammates to it. Cause no end of fun if they're doing something and you just go yoink them in from wherever. And I suppose it's also good if you want to make, like, I don't know, a Nightcrawler character. More skulls. So as you can see, they're taking way more damage and I am going to miss a lot. Once we get this slotted with the these, I should make it a lot easier. Right, let's open this up. Ooh, can you hear that noise? That's the glowy noise. Right, yeah, you've got baseball bats. I have a massive hammer. I don't think you're going to win this one. See, and I missed. Yeah, see, dropping enhancements. Look! Dual origins. This never used to be a thing. There we are, we've got a damage resistance one. Which is, because I'm a mutation. Am I? Oh no, I'm science for some reason. Don't know why I picked science, but there we are. And I'm being attacked, which is very annoying whilst I'm trying to explain something. Right, well here's the Nemesis staff. Hopefully it works. There you are. Ragdoll! I mean, that's another thing that's changed, is the ragdoll physics. Oh, I've seen some derpiness. Oh. Also, another thing I have read that I believe they've changed is you used to have a certain limit about how many of the mobs you could aggro. Right. Inspirations. You can use them on the fly. This one's a heal. I needed that, otherwise I was going to die. You can boost damage, you can boost accuracy, which is the yellow ones, so the red ones are damage. Health is the green ones, endurance are the blue ones. You've also got resurrection ones, so if everybody's dead and you're teleported by a teammate who's run all the way back to the beginning, you can res, but you'll be sort of stunned and walk around like you're drunk for a bit. You've got orange shield ones which boost your natural defense, you've got purple ones which boost your luck. And darker purple ones which protect against confuse and sleep and that sort of stuff. So that's all good. So there we are. This is the infamous glowy noise. Oh. There we go. Key found. Now we need to seek the evidence. So let's go in here. Oh, I think this might be the one I have to rescue someone in fire. Right, come on. I don't have time to play with you. It's like, you're trying to stab me with a knife. How would you think that's going to work out for you? Seriously. And there we are. We've just leveled up to level 3. And as you can see, every time we level up, we get these buffs. So that one... there you are, it protects against sleep, stun, immobilise, hold, terrorise, confuse, knockback, placate, and taunts. Taunts only really apply in PvP, which I always hated, and to be fair, it's not really my cup of tea in any game, PvP. Because you either come across people who are much better at the game than you, which can be frustrating, or people who are absolutely rubbish at the game, which provide absolutely no challenge whatsoever. And again, it's frustrating. Oh, I hear a glowy. Not there. Oh, follow the noise. Follow the noise. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we just need to beat up the rest of the skulls. We're now blue because we've just leveled up. In regards to soloing, tanks and scrappers are probably by far the best because they're quite balanced when it comes to offense and defense. Obviously the ranged lot, you know, they're like glass cannons for the most part, so they can die really easily. And then you have all the other ones. Basically, right, hero classes, we'll discuss them briefly, shall we? And then all the classes. You have tanks, you have scrappers, which are your melee, you have blasters, which are pure ranged damage, defenders, which are like your healers, but they also do a bit of range damage. Your controllers, which are another support type, so they do holds and they do a little bit of healing as well. But they're more to like, as it says, that they control. So those are your original 5 hero classes. Then they introduced to the game the level 50 lot, which are 2 special classes for when you hit level 50. Because it's like you know the game, you're doing really well. Here's some epic classes, which are the Chaldeans. They're kind of like the City of Heroes equivalent of Goa'uld, if you've ever watched Stargate. They're like Venom, like symbiotic relationship with a host, and they can be ranged and tanks, whatever. But when you play them, there's a chance for quantum mobs to turn up. which can easily kill them. Which I just remembered when I decided to make one of them solo it, and yeah, makes it a bit of a nightmare. Then they introduced City of Villains and the Rogue Isles, which introduced 5 new classes, which were the Mastermind, which is a pet class, which is a pet type. Stalkers, which are kind of like Scrappers, but they're a bit more like rogues from World of Warcraft, I guess. Brutes, which are kind of like tanks, but they're kind of more leaning towards damage than defense. You have... what's the other one? They're like controllers, but they're not. I can't remember the name of them. Dominators. That's it, Dominators. They're like controllers, but the evil version. And I think that's the 5 classes. Yeah, probably. And then they also made it so you could play the Arachnor Soldier if you so desired. But why don't we'll quickly show and we'll come back in. So if we go to the character select, we'll have a little run through and so you can see. So because why not? So there we are. There's my list of characters. So we go to create character. You can either start in the Rogue Isles. I mean, this is a new thing. Players resistance to a loyalist. I don't know what that is. I might do it at some point. But you've got science, mutation, magic, blah blah blah. So we'll just right. So you've got your tanks, right? So if you go to archetype, you've got tankers and brutes. There, we'll have a you look at the powers. So you've got all your armors. You've got bio armor, dark armor, electric armor, fiery aura, ice armor, invulnerability, radiation, shields. Yeah, that's fun. I've got a shield tank. They're fun. Stone armor, super reflexes, and willpower. And then you've got the melee ones, which is you've got battle axe, broadsword, claws. So if you want to be like Wolverine, dark melee, dual blades, so dual wielding, electrical melee, energy melee. That's what Envoy used to have. Fiery melee, ice, katanas. So I had a katana scrapper. They were fun. Kinetic melee. Yeah. I would akin that to like Iron Fist, martial arts, psionic melee, that's like Psylocke, radiation melee, savage melee, so that's like if you're like an animal, spines, star fighting, stone melee, street justice, and super strength. They're very similar, but that one has better animations and noises than super strength. Type weapons, as you can see, and the war mace. If you go back to brutes, however, as you can see, their primary are the weapons. If you go into the secondary, there's the armors. Right? Look, tanks, survivability 10, melee 7. See, the brute, slightly less survivability, but slightly more damaged. Damage. So there you are. Alright, melee damage. It's going to list the other two. So, Scrapper. Survivability 7, melee damage 10. They're stats wise, they're exactly the same. So Scrapper, it's all the same, except they have a unique armor, which is regen. Regen is easily by far the best, purely because of if you combined quick recovery with the fitness one that we talked about earlier. The endurance is basically endless, so you can just go in like gung ho and just go forever. That's why really that most took that. So for Stalker, they seem to have all of the Scrapper ones and all of the. You know what? I don't know if there's a difference. I don't actually see a difference. I mean, maybe they have inherent stealth. I think they might have inherent stealth. I think that's the difference. Okay, anyway, range damage. Oh, I forgot about the set Sentinel and Corruptor. I completely forgot about them. Right, so anyway, you've got your blaster. So you've got archery, you've got assault rifles, beam rifles, dark blast, dual pistols, electric blast, energy, fire, ice, you know, typical. Psychic blast, radiation blast, seismic blast, sonic wall, sonic attacks, water, and the secondary. Basically, it mirrors most of the other one. So atomic manipulation, etc., martial combat. So some of them can be defensive, but a lot of them, so like temporal manipulation, immobilizes and stuff like that, so that you can defend yourself a little bit. But as you can see, there's like literally nothing as far as defensive auras and things like that. Defenders. So you've got, so yeah, there's your blaster ones for your secondary, but then you've got these have a bit of control, bit of attack, but mostly like empathy. So you are healing, things like that. Storm summoning, that's a fun one. Time manipulation. Yeah, you can go mad. So Sentinel. So if you look at the blaster, survivability 4, damage 10. I mean, blasters do melee. They do have a melee attack, but you know that's not ideal. So their survivability is way higher, but they sacrifice a bit, you know, damage. But their damage is still pretty high. It's still higher than a defender. So we go to the powers. Same as the blaster, but they have the armors. So there's that. Right, corruptors. I know they have different powers. So these, they're like controllers but nastier. So they can do the pew pew, but they have like the defender stuff. You know, so it's a weird combination. Right, so now on to crowd control. Yeah, so controllers, the good ones: darkness control, gravity control, plant control, and then they have the defender stuff again. But you know, so which is basically their primary one is where it's amazing. I did have an original controller, Mesmeria. This was so boring to play. The fun ones I like is gravity control and plant control. They're my favourite ones, I must say. Right, dominators. I think these are a combination between blasters and controllers. So there you are. You've got the controllers, and then they have their own. Actually, they have their own unique one. They got assaults. So they're kind of like blasters, but I think it's a mix of the melee from scrappers and the melee from blasters. I think, or mix of bits and pieces. Support. So we've looked at the control, we've looked at the defender, we've looked at the corruptor. So just go pet, which is it's the mastermind. Let's face it. So secondary powers, very defendery, but you can have beasts, you can have demons, mercenaries, necromancers, ninjas, robots, and thugs. Now, unfortunately, you can't customize the way they look, but you can rename them. So there's that. And where can I not? Where's the Chaldeans gone? They've disappeared. Unless they can only be natural? Okay, that's very bizarre. Oh, it might be because I was on that. Yeah, there we go. It's because I was clicked on the Rogue Isles. I didn't know that was a thing. So basically, if you want to go to Rogue Isles, you can't have a Peacebringer, a Warshade, or a Widow or a Soldier. So there we go. Peacebringer. Yeah, it's a thing because you could be in normal human form, or dwarf form, or Chaldean form. They are glass cannons because they're ranged. The dwarf's like a tank, and then the human form is very balanced. Basically, these are exactly the same, except one, you know, is all light and the other one's dark. And before you could customise how it looked, you either wanted it to look light or look dark. But now you can customise the colours. It makes little difference. Raknos Widow. So you've got Widow training, which is, you know, I think these look very boring to be honest. So they don't have very many things at all. So I'm hoping they're pretty powerful. I mean, I might create one eventually. An Arachnal Soldier. It's like one of the range ones, but they're just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we make one eventually, but yeah, so that's all the stuff you can be. But let's crack on, shall we? And there we go. What's the time? Let's just bring it up to here. Oh, I've got 2 people watching me. Hello. I've just looked at it on my phone. So that's nice. That's really nice. Well, although one might be me watching it on my phone. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Right. So yeah, once we've gotten a bit further with a contact, you can just call them from where you are. But in the meantime, we have to manually go to them, and it's tedious. And my ears are really sweating. Oh. Why do I pick when it starts to get nicer weather to start streaming when I'm going to be sweating my nards off? Right, there we go. So we've got to secure the painting. Okay. Nice and interesting. Low-level grunt work. I promise. When we get into the higher levels, oh, some of the missions are, oh, but task forces, which are kind of like mini raids. Well, they're more like dungeons, I guess, in WoW, but they're a lot longer. They can last a few hours depending on who you're with. But then one of the biggest events on the game is the Hamadan raid, which is basically a big amoeba type thing. Oh, there it is. Which is basically a complete server-wide event. I've only ever done 2 or 3 of them because they were so hard to organise, and they were an absolute lag fest, if you can imagine. Nowadays, with, you know, serviceability and broadband and all that, probably a lot easier. And I forgot to, you know what I've done? I forgot to go level up. Too busy chatting away and explaining things. But you know, what can you do? Right, so these are council. There are lots of different enemy types. You've got council. You've got the 5th column, which are like fictional, futuristic Nazis, I guess. Ricti, they're aliens. We've got the Lost, which are converted by the Ricti from humans. You've seen the Skulls. We have Outcast, which are like elementals. There's can't remember the names of them. We've got Carnies, not the type of Carnies you're possibly thinking of that run festival games. Oh no. They look like them, but they're a lot meaner, a lot nastier. We've got the Freak Show, which I think were the best, if not the best, source of XP in the game. They're like sort of post-apocalyptic looking cyborgs. You've got, what else have you got? there's sort of fantasy type ones in a place called Proto, which we'll get to when we're like level 30-ish. Right, so what else have we got? Trying to think, it's been so long. Oh, excuse me. There's gold brickers, but I think they're dominantly in the rogue isles. I can't think. I mean, there's so many to remember. There are larger bosses that are knocking around in various places. I can't remember the name of the giant octopus, but that's in. She's not in Talos. She's in Peregrine Port, I believe. Right, here we are. See, look, I'm low health. I don't have an inspiration, so we need to rest. So the character will kneel down, can't move, and eventually it should say only affecting yourself. The endurance does the same thing if we ran out, but at this low level it's unlikely. Yeah. So there we go. We've got some more bad guys in here. You know what? I feel like being train guy. So we'll quickly eat railroad sign. It's great. You could do it on the fly. So what I was saying about, you know, if you want to Hulk out or something, you do have. If I go to ID, yeah, you can have a battle cry. Just something like that, so you can just go boom, and you press F10, boom, like that. So you can go, "You're making me angry," and then just, you know, transform into a, you know, big hulking beast type thing. You know, it's really good. All right, so now we need to go to the elevators. That's one of the ways they made these maps bigger without making them too big for the servers to handle, is the way it instances everything into separate little things. Is you have multiple floors. I mean, there are some slightly bigger open world maps, but even the cities themselves aren't that big. I mean, this was an early 2000s game, online game, so they're not going to be huge. And because I'm running this on NVIDIA 1080 Ti, you know, the graphics look smooth as anything, even if they do look a little bit dated. But I think they've aged pretty well, to be honest. I mean, there are some games that look like absolute trash. But in some aspects, especially in terms of customization, this game's unparalleled. Even anything they're making now, I think I haven't really looked at Ship of Heroes, but there was another one. More recent one, I can't remember the name of it, but it just wasn't the same. You couldn't customize nearly as much. There wasn't as much detailed storyline. I mean, yeah, okay, there's no voice acting, but you know, there's no voice acting in an actual comic book, so who cares? And I did think I hear the glowing, but I've ignored it because I want to beat everybody up. You've got to defeat all the painting dudes anyway. Look at the way he's like, his legs are spit like that. That's gotta hurt. And it's like I don't remember how it lists where you beat them, but no, it doesn't. It just, yeah, because there was a thing, like, I can't remember what game it is, where it says the bad guys. No, that's it. Pokemon. They faint. That's what I was thinking of for some stupid reason. You just kill them in this. I mean, like the new Spider-Man games on the PS4. If you knock them off the side of the building, he webs them to the side of the building. I'm like, come on. At least let them fall to their death. More fun. Oh, I love that for Ragdoll, and it's fun. The other change I think they made is I don't think there ever used to be falling damage, but now there is. Right, I hear the glowy. I hear the glowy. Where are you? Are you up here? I think you are. Look, can we jump up onto the platform, please? Thank you. Yep, yep. I hear it. Is it in here? Yes, it is. Nice diamond dot painting. Before it was actually a thing. Oh god, we've missed some. Another thing they added was if you're wandering around for long enough, or you've cleared an entire floor and are on the last floor, is the map will now show where things are. Because I remember spending forever running around trying to find that last glowy or that last mob, and you know, this streamlines it, because so much time was wasted on that alone, let alone when you die and you all have to run back to the mission, etc. from the hospital. But at the moment it's not going to show me because they're probably down this way, because I haven't actually explored it yet. There they are. Although, oh, there's more over there. Okay, oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, all right. Oh, see, these guys are orange because they're not only. Oh god. Okay, we're going to die. We're going to die. No, 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 no. Come on. Ugh. Now I've got to change character. I'll level up and then I'll change character. See, that was probably on me because I didn't level up and boost, like, you know, put enhancements in and whatnot. But here we are, we're at the hospital. It doesn't make sense, you just healed instantly instead of, like, you know, being out of commission for a bit. That's why I'm imposing the we'll play something else rule. It also means we can jump ahead to other characters, see different bits and pieces. So you're not bored with the same character all the time. Because I would be. Because unfortunately I do kind of suffer with ADD, which means I'm either obsessed with something for a long time or I get bored with it really easily. So it keeps it fresh. Right, so we need to head over to a Miss Liberté. Oh, traffic. Beeping at me. Off we go. There we go. So there we go. Train. So yeah, we're just going to get enhancement slots. So want those in there because that's what we should have put, and we would have been a little. Oh, seriously? Seriously? I've been playing all week, and on the day I decide to stream, server reset. What the hell? Sod's fucking law, that is. Absolutely sod's fucking law. Ugh. Fine. Right, let's change character. God's sake. Oh well, I'll guess I'll take a 10-minute break. Right, so we'll just run through like quickly who I've got. Yeah, I went with a sort of ranking name convention because I got bored with the names. So we've got my super strength invulnerability tanker, Commander Envoy. Got Captain Envoy, who's energy atomic blaster. Yes, I know she looks like Harley Quinn at the moment. That's because I wanted to use a hammer, and that's the closest I can make. That's supposed to be Angie Woman. We've got Major Smash, who's Titan Regen Scrapper. See, I love the title. Then Whip, I thought that was quite a cool name, who's an archer, archer, tactical arrows. Got the Peace Bringer, Mighty Justice. Yes, Vulnerability Street Justice tanker. He currently looks like Superman, because why not? Obviously, one we've been playing. I am the knight, who is a sword and shield tank. Major Reaper, who is a dark blaster. We're looking very superhero right now. Admiral Hackerslash, who's a dual wield regen scrapper. We've got Captain Blaze Orm, who's my fire blaster. We've got my fairy controller, who's electric and storms. My robot mastermind, force fields. I love this idea. Commodore 64. It couldn't take the numbers because it's already taken, but he's an electric defender. I thought that was brilliant. That's my partner's character. I made for her. Not really going to be playing her. She's a Sonic fire melee. He's my Psionic Scrapper electric. General Annoyance I thought was brilliant. He's a gravity time manipulation controller. Thorny Lady, who's a spine regen scrapper. Super Duper Hero, that's just a placeholder name because I just did not know what to do, because I went to see what kinetic melee was like. Yes, I made an actual Angemon character because he's got a staff. I thought that was a pretty good thing. Again, placeholder name. She's a demon, dark mastermind. So why not? So who shall we play? I've been really liking playing Commander Justice, because why not? Why not? We're in the Hollows. This is a place where you can play from a level 5. Another thing that didn't used to be was a trainer. There are now level trainers in every single zone. Oh god. That's another thing from the old days. Rubber banding. Still a thing. Oh, positional data packets. How I detest you. Right, so fly. Put our toggles on, which, you know, you can turn them on and off because I'm an invulnerability tanker. I'll quickly show you the costumes I've got. So that one, that was the original one I made that one. I'm not happy with that. I might change it. That one. It's very superhero-y. Yeah. That's one of my favourites. But I made, you know, a custom Superman one, and I made it, and that's why I made the original Angemon one. So I think I'll go with the this one. It was kind of like a shout out honour to one of my good friends who I used to play with, Honzu. He was the bigger version tanker, but this is kind of similar to how he looked. I've just tweaked it a bit. Oh, Igneous is the other one, and Trolls. So we've got Trolls, which are these green dudes. They're more super strengthy type and regen-y type things. They are minions of Igneous. Where are you? I've targeted you. Where are you? So right, we'll just go. If we go towards him, down there. They're these big rocky monster things. Right. One of the other things with this zone in particular is travel powers such as fly. You could only get about level 15 or so. This zone starts at level 5, and if we zoom in a bit, right, as you can see in zones you have Cherry Hills. Like, I used to say where the levels were. Zoom in. Still saying, I swear. If I go to the options, names, that's the names. Doesn't show. It used to show the levels. I swear it used to show the levels. Anyway, as you could probably tell, starting lower level and then you're building up and in there, right? That's full of stuff, right? This is where the high level stuff is, and sometimes when you're doing low level missions that start over here, they would plop them over there, and when you don't know the game, you'd think, oh, I'll just go through here. No, there's level 15 plus mobs down there which would be purple to you, and you die because you just jump in there, run through, none the wiser. All of a sudden a rock comes and hits you and one-shots you. Not fun. Which is why they changed it so you could pick up the power at level 4. so you can just fly over it or whatever without too much worry. Right. So anyway, another one more thing as we're going to there. This is the level of the mobs in the mission. Now, what used to be a thing is if you went and did some other stuff and you had missions in there, yeah, okay, the ones you've already picked up would be lower level than you. But then if you carried on the quest line, they'd still be lower level than you. Now, they boost up to your own level, so you still get benefit from them. Which, again, is another brilliant change. Much needed, because then you could experience all the content at level, at maximum level if you wanted to. Because before, you'd level to 50, and then like the lower level stuff, I've barely seen any of it. Because you just rip through the game, skip loads of the contacts and stuff. But now, I want to see it all. I want to do it all. Because there's so much content I missed originally. Right, so... And I am missing loads. This is not good. Ow. Yeah, I don't have any debt at the minute, so that's alright. The dark blue bit in the bar is if you're offline, right? You'll slowly accumulate this bar. And that basically means you earn double XP on everything you kill whilst you've got that bar there. It can go for an entire level. It doesn't really go beyond that. It goes up faster if you log out in specific places, which now have badges associated with them. Like if you log out in a hospital, you get caregiver. It's like I've got this because I logged out in caregiver, and you get a buff. So I've got some extra regeneration, and it will tell you it. So you can put up more info, and show you. You could go to high level, see what it'd be at a high level, etc. So there's been lots of buffs to the game. So nerfs, because nobody likes their favourite game being nerfed. It's just why. Look at that! One tick of bloody fall damage. It's like, why? But then, you can knock them off buildings and kill them now. So, swings and roundabouts. See, he's using the super strength melee set. And you see, it's quite and the sounds are quite yeah, okay, you can throw a rock. But I think the Street Brawl is such a more advanced set. I mean, I started playing the game when you had like maybe half a dozen options for each class, and then they or archetype as this game calls them, and then and then they added loads of stuff to the game. Oh, I've just remembered what game I'm thinking of. Fating the superheroes. I think DCU Online. I think the mobs faint instead of killing them. I think. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. Right, so we've got to bust the second leader and his men, seek clues, and destroy its two Superdyne stashes. Right, now this is a situation where if I just ran in there, they'd all come on me and I would die. So this is where the Nemesis staff for a tank comes in bloody handy. Because even if it misses, it will still pull him along. And that may have been a mistake, but you can... If you get... Line of sighting them is a thing. So I can come back here, and the ones I've aggroed will immediately run to where they can line of sight me. So I've managed to pull 3 out of all of them, which is pretty good. And that is how you essentially tank in this game. You grab a bunch of mobs and go in. Now, the 2 best tankers back in the day for mob grabbing anyway were the invulnerability tanker pre-nerf, and I'm hoping it's been put back to this. There's a particular power which I think is invincibility. I think, where the more mobs you have on you, the more damage you mitigate. So, there'd be competition between Honzu, my friend Honzu, on his invulnerability tanker. And our friend George, I can't remember the name of his character to save my life offhand, but they would have competitions to see who could pull the most in these big ass maps of 100+ mobs. And they would just stand there taking it, whilst we would just stand there going, what? But the other one, which would absolutely could just stand there forever without taking any damage, is the stone tank, the granite armor. Because when you fully, again pre-nerf, slot it with the enhancements, it would you had an ability that keeps the damage ticking on them, slows them down, makes you immovable, and you've got the big granite armor on that just takes all the damage. Plus you have some little rocks going around that prevents the psionic damage, which only a couple of the tank classes have. So yeah, that's why I made Envoy in the first place, was to be a top tier tank. So basically we could go do anything, any mission we wanted, and I could just stand there, tank them a lot, whilst everyone else beat the crap out of them, or blew the crap out of them, or shocked the crap out of them. Whatever is your poison. It's like, do you mind? So unfortunately, whilst it can be, you know, wanted to put all your damage into attacks, you want at least some accuracy, and otherwise you're just going to constantly miss. And it's hard to maintain as you got, because just like with the mobs, new enhancements have the level system, which, you know, they're green if like they're above your level, or say, you know, white at the same level when they go red below a certain level when they stop working. The higher level it is, the more of a buff it gives, and obviously it goes down to 0, so you have to keep replacing them. Which, if you're buying them from a vendor, it can be quite expensive. Otherwise, you know, because obviously when you're getting them dropped, it's pot luck as to what drops, to a degree, unless you're just farming them. Because one thing I have noticed is that I'm getting mutation-based enhancements drop, even if they're single origin or... Oh no, they're science. They're science-based, sorry. So science have somehow created trolls, I think. Yeah, dangerous drug called Superdone, so it's science-based, right? So the theme of the mob type determines what origins you're going to get. So Clockwork probably, I think, will probably drop technology, and, you know, anything robotic. Outcasts, I think, drop mutations because that's kind of what they are, and things like that, you know. Well, skulls will drop natural because they're just you know, thugs. I thought of another class of the family. They're like mafia. There's the Sioux, which are like the Yakuza. They're another one. They just keep popping in. There's so many. So they would probably drop natural ones. Magic. There's the Circle of Thorns, so they'd probably drop magic ones, I would imagine. Circle of Thorns are probably my most hated type, because they have these spectral ghosty things, which we'll probably see shortly if I don't die and have to change character again. Oh, server reset in 4 minutes, no! And that's another thing. But yeah, anyway, they're really hard to hit. These ghosts, which makes sense, but from a gameplay standard point, it's just what was I saying? Right, well, seeing as we're going to have a server reset, we might as well come out, because I don't want to do too much of it, because that's the thing, if you log off in the middle of a mission, the whole thing resets. So all the mobs respawn, all the things respawn, and you have to start it over again. Which is good if you want to farm a particular mission. You just log in, log out, boom, reset. Easy far. Otherwise, if you just die and run back, everything you've done stays done, and you can just finish it off. So there's that. So let's quit to my desktop, and I will see you all in about 10-15 minutes.